Hi everyone, it's Marissa here from Rise High. I'm going to give you 6 tips on what you can do to maintain your borrowing capacity, potentially even increase your borrowing capacity. Tip number 1 is look at your living expenses. So one thing that banks are really looking at now is they want to see your living expenses in the 3 to 6 months prior to you applying for the loan application. And specifically, they're looking at how you spend your money and where you spend your money. If you're able to manage and reduce your living expenses, then that is going to that's actually going to make a great contribution to maintaining and increasing your borrowing capacity. Also, a word of caution to avoid things like afterpay and payday lenders so that you can maximise the savings that you're making on your living expenses. Secondly, eliminate expensive debt. So these are things like your credit cards, your personal loans, car loans, anything that has a higher interest rate than your home loan. These are the sorts of things that we want to try and eliminate if we don't need. Reduce the limits on credit cards if we don't need the full limits, or potentially look at consolidating them into a cheaper debt like a home loan. This is going to go a long way into making up that gap that you're going to see happen when the assessment rates change. The other thing that you can do, tip number 3, is you can look to extend the term of your loan where it makes sense. So for example, if you've got a home loan and an investment loan, and you might want to, your priority might be to pay down your home loan first, you might want to talk to us about extending the term of your investment loan. That will actually reduce your repayments on that investment loan and will enable you to have more cash available to put towards your home loan, but at the same time it will actually increase your borrowing capacity for any future borrowings. So that's also another good strategy that we can implement to increase your borrowing capacity once it drops. Tip number 4 is to avoid interest-only terms if you're trying to maximise your borrowing capacity. So the reason why this one is important is that if you do apply for a loan and you get an interest-only period, let's say for example the first 5 years are interest-only, it does mean that the whole loan has to be repaid over a 25-year term, which is the term remaining, rather than a 30-year term. This is ultimately going to increase your repayments, and as a result, it reduces your borrowing capacity. So if you're able to eliminate those interest-only terms or reduce those interest-only terms, it actually, whilst the repayment's a little bit higher because you are paying a principal and interest repayment, it actually works to increase your borrowing capacity and gives you the ability to borrow more money and have that higher borrowing capacity. Tip number 5 is save more money. So this is about having a higher deposit. This is especially important if you're looking to buy a home, your first home, or looking to upgrade. If you have a higher deposit, it means your loan to value ratio is lower. So it means you're borrowing less money against the value of the house. And lower loan to value ratios will also possibly result in lower interest rates. And the lower the interest rate, the lower your assessment rate, which is going to be good news for your borrowing capacity. Finally, tip number 6, find and use a good mortgage broker, especially one from the team at Rise High. It's super important to work with a good mortgage broker who has a best interest duty towards you, to always put your best interest first, and who has access to lots of lenders who can actually assess which lender is going to be best suited to you to maximise your borrowing capacity. Hope this has been useful to you. We're here to answer all of your questions. We're here to support you through this. So make sure you get in with your questions. If you have any questions between now and then, you can contact our team anytime. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.